Hello and welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail Expedition with me, Bring It On. Oh, my mushroom brew wore off. There we go. Alright, the gents room. Alright, well, this one's already open, so we'll just use this to run around the ventilation shafts. Okay. Eat critical strike. I don't think I'm going to discover anything new here. Well, except for this guy. Oh, you are. Give me a run for my money, aren't you? Oh, oops, didn't mean to take that. I meant to look through it. Hey, I found a handmaiden. Eat short circuit. Alright, a couple of things. Let's see. One, I can get rid of that. Two, I should be able to make another repair kit. There we go. Honestly, it's less than 100. I don't want to use it right now. We're already over here. Tech vault. Alright, so I probably can't get into the tech vault anyway, right? Yeah, it's blocked by cabinets. Alright, cool. It's like that's where... Alright, good, that was a plasma mine, not a, EMP. So I think EMPs are much worse. I'd rather take damage than have all my electronics lose their charge. Holy ammo. I'll take all of that. Alright, bunch of ammo and grenades. Let's I'm gonna drop off these vials because they're harder to sell than the rest of the stuff. And I'll drop this stuff off as well. I'm tempted to drop off the fishing rod. Alright. Alright, laser pistol and a fusion cell. I'll grab both of those. Another Lemurian Philharmonic pamphlet. Microchip implant encoder, Nexus of Technology. This device can be used to read and write data from and to microchip implants manufactured by Lemco. Okay. Plasma grenade. Okay. I know how to make plasma grenades. I'm gonna assume that it only requires electronics, right? What happened here? We discovered a microchip implant encoder inside Nexus of Technology. Perhaps you can somehow use it on Phil Bridges' microchip implant. Is that in my key items? I'll worry about it later. There's other stuff to deal with. I don't remember what I was doing. There's something else that came into my inventory before I thought. Oh yeah, I wanted to see what it takes to make a plasma grenade. Okay, yeah, so it's electronics. Security console. Lemco LC387, welcome Pete Bridges. Please select one of the following options. Surveillance system. Surveillance system is offline. Number of active security cameras on Nexus of Technology is 16. Disable the surveillance system. How should I come here first? Alright. Contact active security supervisor. No active security supervisor detected. There may be temporary communication problems preventing this. Please try again later. I'm not going to talk about the gates because I'm fine with them being open. Did I look at this dead scientist already? Yeah. Alright, computer, what you got? Lemco LC487, Alan McLean. Unable to connect to LIN, only local data is available. Mail from T. Cambridge to subject. No subject, sorry. So this is T. Cambridge and this is Alan McLean. Alright, so Cambridge. I'm coming over today to collect the A. Connor from the tech vault. I'll be at the Nexus in half an hour. McLean. What's going on? Cambridge. The command wants it here in JSHQ. Joint Security Headquarters? Because this is NFT, I don't know what else JS would stand for. Either Joint Service or Joint Security? McLean. I thought I was going to be sent below. Cambridge. The Prime Minister and the Technology Minister left some 15 minutes ago after a 4-hour meeting with the command. It seems the plans have changed. It's a real mess here. Everyone's running headless while time is running out. Fast. McLean. Indeed. Do you want a strong man on standby? Cambridge. No need. I'll be picking up A. Connor only. McLean. Very well. I'll be waiting here. Alright, this is the email that we've already read. So we'll read the musical cipher keys. Hey guys, the challenge is over. As we all know, with Laverne being the fastest one to decrypt her text and acquire the tech vault code. Congratulations again, Laverne. I should send... Sentences make sense. I thought I should send. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of send and make this thought. Let's just put it back in. I thought I should make everyone's encryption keys public, so that all of you who haven't been able to decrypt their text in time could do so with their respective keys, and I hope use them to finally solve the cipher. So we're having some peculiar problems with LIN at the moment and can't use Ether. I've attached a file containing all of the keys to this mail. Alan McLean, Nexus Security. Open attached file, music cipher keys ODC. Cannot open musical cipher keys ODC, file is corrupt and unreadable. Attempt to repair the file, yes. Repairing. Musical cipher keys ODC repaired successfully, but certain parts of the file may still be damaged or missing. Alright, Jeff, interval key, right? Perfect fourth, major third, perfect fifth. Octave key. Interesting, okay. Laverne, interval key, perfect unison, major second, major sixth. Alright, interval key, perfect fifth, perfect unison, perfect fifth. Now, none of his is corrupted. Doesn't mean I know what I'm looking at. Arthur, interval key, perfect unison, major third, minor sixth. Hammond, interval key, major second, perfect fourth, minor seventh. Okay. I'm not gonna read all of this because it's... Diminished fifth is new. Interval key to be major or minor sixth. Alright, let's go back to mail. Last email. View entire conversation. I'm back, brother. Wait, who's this? From R. McLean, okay. Because this is Alan McLean's computer. So his brother's R. McLean. I'm back, brother. Had a lot of work over at the JS HQ dockyard. Now for some reason I can't find the previous conversation, but I think you were just about to explain to me how that musical cipher of yours works. The one you made for that challenge the other day. It sounded really interesting. Just keep in mind that your bro is a marine mechanic and not a cryptographer, will you? Or cryptographer. Not a cryptographer. Sounds ridiculous. Yes, that's where we stopped. And don't worry, I'll try to make it as easy to follow as possible. Well, it's my turn to come up with something this time around, and I really wanted something that was based on music. Not only that, I wanted something that would, if not top, then at least be as interesting as Arthur Asimov's challenge from a few months back. But I was struggling to come up with the right idea, until I remembered that 3 times 12 equals 36. That simple realization allowed me to develop the cipher that could possibly, and only to a certain degree, be applicable in real life, but also make sense musically. In 12-tet, there are 12 notes per octave. Okay? And I figured that with 3 octaves I had exactly the right number of notes to encode all 26 letters, as well as numbers ranging from 0 to 9, which is all I needed to encode. Then I just took it from there. Of course, I could have spelled all the numbers, but again, the musical aspect of the cipher is what's important here. Yeah, I understand everything up to this point. Maybe I'm not as dumb as people say. So how does it work exactly? Okay, so think of it like this. You have 3 blocks of 12 notes. Each of the 36 corresponding to a letter of the alphabet, 26 notes out of total 36, as I mentioned before. And the other 10 numbers aligned to the alphabet goes first. The other 10 numbers aligned to the alphabet goes first. Then the numbers, okay. For example, the default arrangement is that the letter A corresponds to note C, letter B to C sharp, D flat, C to D, etc. Alright. So the default arrangement is that letter A, because C starts, that's right. Okay, got it. Then the notes start repeating once you reach the letter M. So now letter M is note C, N is C sharp, etc. And you go all the way until you're done with the numbers as well. Okay. So but then that means some of the letters would be represented twice, or some of the notes, right? Anyway, so that's the basic setup. Now the first thing I do to manipulate this arrangement is to transpose the notes in all of these 3 blocks by a randomly selected interval. Let's say the first block is being transposed by a minor third, 3 semitones, in keeping with the musical theme. That means that letter A now corresponds to note D sharp, E flat. Okay, a letter B to E, C to F, etc. The same applies to the other 2 blocks. However, the other 2 blocks are not only being transposed, but also modulated. More precisely, since they have already been offset by the transposition interval, minor third, I now add on top of the modulation intervals for each block. For the second block, let's pick another minor third, which makes that 6 semitones in total, 3 plus 3. 6 semitones from C is F sharp. So again, the first block is offset only by the transposition interval. Once we reach the second, we start at the F sharp note. Now the letter M, first letter of the second block, is F sharp, N is G, O is G sharp, A flat. The same principle applies to the third block. With the second modulation, offset interval for the third block is a fifth, 7 semitones above 3 plus 7 equals 10. 10 semitones from C is A sharp, B flat. Then letter Y, first letter of the third block, is A sharp, B flat. Z is B. Now we're starting with numbers. Number 0 is C, 1 is C sharp, D flat, etc. Okay, so all I saw were numbers. Right, so I don't think the letters even matter, right? So all we need to worry about are the number, right? These 3 musical intervals, transposition, first modulation, and second modulation, comprise the interval key used to decode the cipher. Next step are the octaves, because how will one know which of the 3 Fs one has correspond to which letter number? Okay? Each block has its own starting octave, and octave numbers always start at the C note. If we say... By the way, this is hard to comprehend what I'm reading out loud. I'm going to have to go back and read all of this. If we say transpose a piece starting at B1, the last note in the first octave, by a perfect fifth higher, 7 semitones, then the next 7 notes belong to the higher octave, C2, C sharp 2, D2, D sharp 2, E2, F2, and F sharp 2. In this case, our transposed piece now starts with F sharp 2. The most important thing to remember is that octaves start with the letter C, therefore the octave number will always become one higher every time we reach the next C. The starting octaves for each one of the 3 blocks is something I generate. That is the first part of the octave key. It's a 3-digit number. First digit is the octave number for the first block, second digit for the second block, third digit for the third block. What's left now to do is encode the text, which in this instance were titles of works of our beloved composers. I keep the notes and their corresponding octave numbers separate. The notes are your encoded text. The octave numbers are the second part of your octave key. So your completed octave key is the 3 aforementioned starting octaves, followed by all of these octave numbers. And that's all there is to it. What do you think? Which part of the I'm a marine mechanic and not a cryptographer did you not understand exactly? Did you really think I was going to understand all of that? I knew you were going to get carried away. I apologize, brother. I suppose I didn't need to go into so much detail. And you always fall for it, brother. I was joking. I understood the musical part, the cryptography not so much. The cryptography not so much. I think I got the gist of it, though. I can see you really put a lot of thought into it. Now I have to run. I just got another call. See you after I'm done. Take care, brother. You got me there, but you're right. I do get carried away easily. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted this to be something special, unique. You understand? I feel like this is the developer explaining this to the player. Like, hey, sorry guys, but I got a little carried away, but I had a good idea and I ran with it, so figure this puzzle out. I'll see you later, and you take care. My office conceals no dangers, but possibly that of a chair breaking under my weight. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's go back to mail and look at the Cipher keys. So I want to look at Mickey's. So these numbers correlate to letters, if I'm understanding correctly, right? I'm probably gonna have to put an edit in here while I figure this out, because this might take a minute. So I think I need to go back up to Mickey's computer, right? Because he had the keys. Yeah, let me do this. Let me go back to this. Let's look at Mickey's. I'm gonna take a couple of pictures with my phone here. Start with this one. So those are his keys. I should probably take that. There we go. Alright. So now we're going to dip out. We're going to go back up to... Oh, I never opened this computer. Or this door. Warning, gate locked. You do not have permission to open this gate. Please contact the security supervisor for more details. Unlock the gate anyway. Security technology level south section gate is now unlocked. Please select one of the following options. Open that bad boy up. Alright. Let's go back up to Mickey's office and see what his thing was. Because I think you have to make a cipher between Mickey's email and the key that he provides at the bottom floor, right? So if this is... I think I got this figured out. So these are the notes, and the notes correlate to the numbers. So again, I don't think the letters matter. I could be wrong, but I think I got it. I need to read that one section of the email again. Okay, so let's see. Our number of notes encode all 26 letters. Should be 12 notes per octave, right? So let me look at the pictures I took. Okay. No, my theory does not seem correct. I'm going to put an edit here, and I'm going to try and figure this out. What I'll do is every time I try... Well, let me just guess real quick. There's no harm in that. Code. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that doesn't work. Alright, what I'll do is I think whenever I come up with a new idea, I'll put another edit in. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. Or for each attempt, I'll show it. Because I don't know what I'm doing right now. Anyway, so yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so my first theory as to what the code is. So here you have the interval key perfect fifth, perfect unison, perfect fifth. So perfect fifth has 7 semitones, perfect unison has 0, perfect fifth has 7. So the way semitones work, the wording in the game might be a little confusing. A semitone is the range, or sorry, the interval is the range of semitones. So with a perfect fifth, just imagine it as you have 5 in the center and then 1 above and 1 below. If that helps. For me, I think of it as just a range. So how many numbers range from 5, right? 2. So it's going to be 7 semitones. That's how I think of it. So yeah, we're gonna try 707. If that doesn't work, well then I'll put another edit in. 707. Oh, I need more than 3. Okay, so that doesn't work. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, after some trial and error, I think I finally have it. I've messed this up a few times. I really hope this is it. Alright, so it should be 6624. 6624. Oh man, I was scared. So I've actually tried a few codes that I thought were correct, but I miscounted. Let's see what all the loot is, and then actually let's explain how the puzzle works. So let's go to our information first. So what I first recommend that you do is you write down all the letters A through Z, followed by 0 through 9. But you want to split it into 3 sections. So A through L is going to be the first octave. That'll be your first section. And then for the second section, it'll be M through X. That's your second octave. And then your final octave will be Y through 9. And I think 0 comes before 9. It might be 1 through 9, then 0. I have it 0 to 9. So Y, Z, 0 to 9. So that's going to be your 3 octaves. Now that's important for this part. Let's go here. Well, no, let's go back. Well, I'd have to go back up to what's-his-face's computer. Let's do that. We're going to start at the beginning. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Because the puzzle itself isn't hard if you can follow the rule sets. There's a lot of words in these emails and stuff, so it's hard to understand. But once you understand it, it gets pretty easy. So, where's it at? Alright. This isn't important for the octaves. So these are your musical notes. These are what's gonna be written underneath your octaves. So typically A through L is gonna be C through B. But you have to shift everything. So again, typically A would be C, B would be C sharp, D flat, C would be D, etc. Also, I'll tell you my message. What my message ended up saying was Restless Waves, Caprice, and then I got Ditadel, but it's supposed to be Citadel of Death, Electrolin, Concerto, Strongman, Etude, or Etude. Now I did leave out stuff. If you look at the message, let me go back up. I want to make sure I explain this as best as I can. So in the message, numbers will be kind of spread throughout. They're usually pretty easy to find because they stand out from the rest. It's like here, the number here is A6, the number here, or sorry, A sharp. A sharp is the next number. DFA is the third number. It spells out 2. And then G sharp is your last number. And they'll stand out thanks to what we're about to go look at. So that's not important right now. You will use it in concert with some more information we're about to go look at. So again, typically, each octave should start with C and end with B, but you have to shift everything. So if you go here, so Mickey's interval key is perfect fifth. Well, this is for me. I don't know if it's different for other people, but it's perfect fifth, perfect unison, and perfect fifth. Perfect fifth is representative of 7 semitones. Perfect unison is 0. Perfect fifth is 7. So the way it works is the first octave, A through L, you're going to shift by 7. When I first did it, I was shifting to the right, and I wasn't getting the right answer. You need to shift to the left. So where C would, or A would normally be C, A will now be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or sorry. It'll be F. So A is equal to F now, because you shift it by 7. Now, in one of the other messages, when he's talking to his brother, he explains where's it at? So transposition. The first octave is transposed. The next ones are going to be modular. So when you look at, yeah, so modulated more precisely. So for the next 2, so for octave 2, M through X, you're going to take the initial interval key and add it to the second interval key, which in my case was 0, so I don't add anything. It's just 7. I just shift everything to the left by 7. And the last one, I'm going to have to shift it by 14, because I add the first interval key to the last one. So if I go here, oh no, back one. Here we go. So perfect fifth is worth 7. Perfect fifth is 7. So for the first octave, you just use the 7 that perfect fifth represents. I did have to look these up. I don't remember how many semitones per. I thought it was universally like a range. So like if it's a perfect fifth, it'll be 7 because you take the 5 and then you take the 1 above and the 1 below. That's not the case. I did have to end up looking this up. So this is worth 5. This is worth 0. Worth 7. Worth 0. Worth 7. So the first octave, you just shift 7. The second octave, you add these two together. For the third octave, which is again Y through 9, you add these two together. So now that you have your key with everything shifted, all you do here is you find, how do I explain it? So this is the octave key. Ignore the first 3 numbers, because that's the numbers for your octaves. So 0 is going to be my first octave, which is also my perfect fifth. So 0 represents the octave of A through L. 3 represents the octave of M through X. And 6 represents the octave of Y through 9. So I'd label those just to keep up with it. And then the rest of these numbers are representative of which octave you're going to use to find the answer. So for this, you also need the message with all the notes that was emailed to Mickey. So like where, I don't remember where it's at. I don't have it written down. I have a picture of it. Hold on. To make it easier to explain. So in my case, sorry, I'm having difficulty explaining this. So from 4 here to 0 here represents the first line of the email that Mickey received. So the first word is C, B, C sharp, D, G flat, B, C sharp, C sharp. That is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers are going to correlate. So what you need to do, so for 4 here, you're going to look at the octave that's represented by the number 3, which will be the second one. I know this part confused me for a bit. I wasn't sure which one I was supposed to use. I went with the closest one. So 4 is one away from 3, so 4 is still part of 3's octave. 0 is 0, 4 is 3, 1 is 0, 7 will be 6, so you'll use the third octave for 7s. And that's why I said they stand out. So for the numbers, if it's not spelled out, they stand out because they're always in the last octave. Because the numbers are all in that last segment from Y to 9. Now, of course, if it's spelled out like mine was for the third one, DFA, you're gonna have to keep looking it up. I feel like I'm forgetting something. So yeah, when you get your number and your message, so for here 4, I would go and I'd find in the second octave, because that's 3, because it's only one away. I'd go to the third one, or the second one represented from M through X, and I would find C. So the note, whatever letter represents note C, which by default would be M, but again, you want to shift to the left by 7. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would give me R, which is the first letter of the word restless. Now, of course, you'll know you're doing it right if you're actually spelling words. Again, some of mine were off. I think I just miscounted, because I got Restless Waves 6, Caprice, Citadel 6 of Death, Electrolin 2, Concerto, Strongman 4, Etude. That was my full message. Hopefully I'm explaining this well. That's basically it. It's pretty easy once you learn the rules. I think the hardest part was the transpositions and the modulations. And making sure you do it to the left. Again, I did it to the right the first time, and I didn't get anything coherent. So I had to go back and guess at that. I'm like, this isn't working. Maybe I shift to the left. But a lot of this, I had some notes and stuff laying around from my music history classes and stuff. So some of this was familiar to me. I did have to look up these right here, and I had to look up. I think that was it. That's all I had to look up. I got stuck on this for a while. But yeah, if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments. I'll try to explain it even more thoroughly, or as thoroughly as I can. I'll try to answer specific questions. But yeah, once you figure out the rules, it's really not that difficult. EMP grenades Mark III, 4 of them. And plasma grenades Mark III. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Marian note sheet. Note sheet for the infamous third movement of Rylok's Infinite Descent. 5 points of experience. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that's the Sonocaster. We'll deal with that at the end. With a shaded visor, always welcome. Polarizer. That's some decent stuff. Alright, let's grab the Sonocaster. Well, this is interesting. Okay. A short-range directed sound weapon whose destructive energy comes from the infrasonic component of a focused sound wave capable of passing through and damaging multiple targets. The sound wave's higher frequencies have been pre-tuned to various musical intervals and are reflected off objects with which the wave collides. Ignores mechanical damage threshold and half the mechanical damage resistance. Attempts to deal 35% of the original non-critical damage to the target it passes through. Special abilities: Amplified Wave. Perform an unconditional special attack that deals 30% more damage to the primary target, but only half the normal passing damage. Resonating Wave. Perform an unconditional special attack that deals double normal damage to the passing targets, but only half the normal primary target damage. Disruptive Wave. Perform an unconditional special attack that deals 30% less damage to both the primary and pass-through targets, but dazes them for 1 turn. So you can shoot through people with it. That's cool. Okay. Worth a whole lot, too. Alright, well that's that. I think I'm going to call it here, because I spent like 2 hours trying to figure out this darn puzzle. And it mostly little errors, and then I was 1 or 2 off for a couple of them. And then since my first and second octaves were only shifted by 7, whenever I did the third octave, or I had something that fell in the third octave's range, I would always I kept shifting by 7 instead of by 14. Which, if you shift by 14 and there's 12 symbols there, you're technically only shifting by 2. That was actually pointed out to me by Mrs. Bring It On, because I was sitting there counting out 14. She's like, "Why don't you just shift by 2?" I'm like, "Oh, because I suck at math. Thanks." And yeah, she did help me out a little bit. I had her read stuff while I jotted it down. I figured everything out. She read it, so I wouldn't have to keep shifting through everything because it was going to take forever. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Overall, it's not too difficult. I mean, it takes once you figure out how to do it, it's not difficult. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. We're gonna head back to the camp because oh wait, let's do this real quick before I call it an episode. Where's it at? We'll use this. Lemco LMIE-1. Note: this device has been unlocked by Senior Security Officer Jordan Grayling and does not require authorization in order to write data. Detecting active RFID microchip implants. 1 active microchip implant detected. Access RFID 041317-674F. Read personal information. Personal information: PID, yada yada, full name Phil Norman Bridges, birth date LE 4/1391, age NA more than 250 years, address F235, contact Phil N. Bridges, occupation EE3, electrical engineer, marital status, married to Astrid Christian Jacobson, security clearance level C4. Medical information: height 192 centimeters, weight 87 kilograms, blood pressure unavailable, last recorded 311/284. What? Did he explode? I might not be reading that wrong. I'm not very good at knowing blood pressures. Anyway, blood type AB, known allergies none, full medical record. Error 01, unable to open file, yada yada, medical record. Okay. Implant information: manufacturer Lemco, implant ID, yada yada, model name LRFID 2.4, firmware version V35. Okay. Total physical memory 16 megabytes. Ooh. LIN address unavailable. Signal strength unavailable. Implanted at Lemurian Health Center. Implementation date LE 133102. Change security clearance level. Current security clearance level C2. Available security clearance level codes C0, C1, C2, C3, and C4. Upgrade security clearance level. Done. Security clearance level for microchip implant yada yada has been upgraded to C4. Okay. Now what do I do with that? You learn that something called the Acorn, may exist somewhere in Lemuria. While you don't know exactly what it does or looks like, it does seem to be rather important. Can I check this out? So I know I'm dragging out a little bit. Honestly, I'm ready to take a break because I spent a long time on that stuff. Oh wait, no, I should get to the security console, right? Oh, I can't do anything with that. So I guess I just go back to the professor, right? Because they have that in the keep. I could go in there and discover something, right? Regardless, I need to go back and sell stuff and all that jazz. So let's get to my jet ski, then we'll call it an episode. And the next one we'll head back to the camp. Do some inventory management and all that jazz. I didn't read this. Fountain of Prosperity. Alright, gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode.